Ladies and gentlemen, look who's back again. You guys all know him. You guys all love him. Anson Gross, my CFL guy. Anson, how you doing, buddy?
Man, lots to talk about. Can't wait to talk about it. I'm great.
Lots to talk about. Off season is on full display. It's a lot of news, and literally the last 72 hours?
Oh, man, I was
Week.
blowing up your phone with everything going on. Yeah. I was like, man, we got to talk about this stuff going down.
But let's first get into the guys that are leaving the CFL for NFL opportunities. They just signed NFL future contracts. I'm just gonna list them off. Damian Alfred signs with the Saints. Robert Carter Jr. signs with the Colts. Jalen Hutchins signs with the Vikings. Deontay Myers signs with the Bengals. Jacob Roberts also signs with the Vikings, just like his teammate in Calgary right now, Hutchins. And then Devin Versick just today signs with the Colts. Isaiah Wooden is Cleveland Brown. Calgary got hit hard.
Yeah, man. I mean, we spoke about it. We did.
Mhm.
We mentioned that Jalen Hutchins would be the guy to go. Didn't think another guy would go, but he did. And but that just showed like CFL's got talent, man.
hmm
Right there. You gotta come down south. You gotta come down north of the border is what we call it, because we're that league, man. You come down here if you want to play, because you also forgot the punter from the Hamilton Ticats
Oh,
signed with
right.
the Browns,
Yep.
right? That's another guy. That's just think about it, man. Just you can all it needs is 1 year. If you start in the CFL, all you need is 1 year to get back to the NFL if that's what your goal is. But others want to stay down here and play the great game of the CFL. But yeah, Jalen Hutchins, like we said, man, that was their number one guy off the top of the board that we knew was going to go to the NFL.
Yep.
Big shocker to me was Isaiah Wooden personally.
Yeah,
I
the
think,
kick returner out of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
yeah, man, that was a shocker because he was hurt for a little bit. So I guess he had enough film to go down to the NFL and get that contract, which again, huge congrats to him and everybody who got a contract because if that was their goal to make it to the NFL, even just to get a training camp out of it shows that you're good enough to get a training camp.
Where do you think Calgary can go from here, too? So they lose three key players: Jacob Roberts, the linebacker, Damian Alfred, the Moose, the receiver, the rookie, had a tremendous year before he got hurt, also. And obviously, everyone knows Jalen Hutchins. Those are hard players to replace. Do you think Calgary can do it? Because they found them. You think they can find some more like that?
Receiver wise, yes, I think they can because you can rotate any guys out, but not as a Canadian ratio because that's hard to do. Like finding a good Canadian receiver, but you can find a receiver like there's gems that you can find. It's just you have to gel them together with an offense. Defense is a little easier, but it's also a little harder because at the same time, if you're trying to find a guy like Hutchins to get that playing style is difficult, right? You can
Yep.
plop a receiver in, he can get 500 yards, he can do that. But with defense, you got to, if you want the same kind of intensity, the same kind of player, it's hard to find. It's right. So getting a guy to replace him is going to be difficult. You're not going to be able to replace him. You can fill in the role and have a guy play a role player, but to be a star and a stud like him, that's a hard find to do.
It's going to be really hard to do. Let's also talk about Robert Carter Jr. If everybody remembers that interception he had, oh my goodness. And now he is in the NFL now, well, ran out the futures contract. He's going to go to the training camp with the Colts. That's a massive signing, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. You if you told me that that guy was going to go to the NFL, I would have never guessed it. Right? He just played a quiet year besides having that interception,
hmm
but he played lockdown corner for the BC Lions and he decided, you know what? Let's try the NFL again cuz he was a Robert Morris alum and
hmm
not too many Robert Morris guys.
And he also had an incredible interception over there in his playing days too.
Exactly.
Like, dude, he has flashy plays when he can make them, but yeah, he was a lockdown corner. Another player that I want to talk about, the rookie for Hamilton, Devin Versick. What a year he had. Riding the momentum, signing with the Colts literally today. Massive move.
Huge move. I mean, like we mentioned, that guy should have won, rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Right? The way he played was unbelievable, but that just proved the CFL wrong that they picked the wrong guy because this guy just goes and goes, "Hey, I got an offer from the Colts. I'm taking it. You got to release me.
Hmm.
I'm so young. I'm fresh out of university. Like University of Windsor, getting a
Yeah, a
chance,
Windsor product. Like that's insane.
right? Like there's only two guys. Well, three actually. I don't know if he still plays, but there's the guy in Chicago, Hicks, played at the
Hmm.
University of Regina. You got Theo Benedette on the Chicago Bears that played at UBC, and Giovanni Manni, I believe that's how you pronounce his name,
Yeah, Manu.
on the Detroit Lions out of
Hmm.
UBC. So right there, there's only three U Sports guys. Now you're adding a fourth, but that guy could have played. I think that guy could have played D1 football
Yeah,
if
man,
he had.
the talent that he's going to be bringing this year, he's going to bring it. I really hope that he's successful, in the training camp. But we're going to have more names come across the news, and probably the coming weeks as workouts are still going. But let's talk about this right now. Let's move the topics. Congratulations, by the way, to all those guys that are got signed to a futures contract. You're one step away from your goal and making it. You got to do it. Ball out in training camp, and I think every single player that got signed has the strongest chance of cracking the roster or for sure the practice roster. But let's go to the CFL winter meetings just kicked off in Calgary on Monday. Um, a lot of things that they're going to be discussing, especially like the Olympic guidelines, because that's going to happen in 2028. Flag football in the LA 2028 Olympics, they're going to be talking about the players' eligibility and the CFL scheduling, many more. They're going to be talking about the potential adjustments and participation limits for camps, for those Olympics and now playoffs. They're going to be talking about potential adjustments for the Grey Cup playoff format for future seasons, the free agency windows, additional on uniform branding opportunities. But we did see that this year. If you looked at the Grey Cup playoffs when they had the sponsorship right on the back of their jersey, it looked a little ugly, but we knew that was coming. And they're going to be talking about a lot more negotiations. Like they want an American player draft that they're going to be talking about, just to an alternative to require players and assess U.S. players' rights. Overtime, they're going to be trying to make a difference. To look at the different type of formats for overtime, I think right now they should keep it because overtime is totally fine, and they probably have the best overtime rules in all of pro football. And they're looking for additional rule changes too. With like to discuss every winter meetings, and they're looking at what they can switch for the 3 minute rule, the last 3 minutes on what they can do there. Anson, what worries you the most about these topics at the winter meetings, and what are you also excited about, and hopefully what they're discussing here?
I think to start, don't touch the 3 minute rule. That's
Yeah.
my thing, right? Like I'm looking at it, I go, I don't even like the 2 minute rule in the NFL.
Hmm.
Because if you watch when the CFL and the NFL between their 2 minute and the 3 minute, the 2 minute, the NFL, they run the clock down to that 2 minute.
Hmm.
It's annoying. They don't snap the ball. They just let it go down to the 2 minute warning. And they're like, oh, free timeout, whatever. Not on the CFL. They play past that 3 minute, then the timeout happens.
Hmm.
And I like that. Because that means like you're not giving up mid quarter, mid drive or whatever. You're just like, taking a break. You're playing through it. Then you're just accepting the TV timeout and whatever it may be. Um, Looking forward to is how are guys gonna, play in the Olympics?
Yeah, because we're going to be in the middle of the season, and that's what I'm glad. I am super glad that they're talking about it now, and because usually it could have been the greatest CFO way. They're going to talk about it probably a month before the season, before training camp opens up, I bet. But I'm glad they're having the topic now, and so they can talk about it for the next couple of years when 2028 arrives. What I think they're going to do is halt the season for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know how you can do that on a money standpoint. But at the same time, though, it's either you don't let them go, you halt the season for 2 weeks, or you start the season later. All bad options. If I had it, I would love to see CFL players be in the Olympics. I would love it to represent Canada, well, we're very globalized too in the CFL, so represent Japan, Mexico, whatever. I would really like that. But at the same time, just how the season is, and you know you can't compete with the NFL. So you risk. on maybe starting the season a little later and now running into a lot more weekends with the NFL, can't compete with the NFL. No one can compete with the NFL. Not a single league, professionally wise, can't compete with the National Football League on ratings and viewership. What I think, you either halt the season for 2 weeks, and that's already dangerous right there because 2 weeks to halt a season mid-season is terrible. That's awful. I think you just don't let them go.
See, I like I'm on the fence about it because like what if you have because not a full roster is gonna go because there's a lot of like we said, like there you said there's a lot of global, but it's also depends on what countries are going and what countries are qualified.
Yeah.
We know Canada and the United States are gonna be qualified, but like what other countries are gonna be qualified too? So like if teams can come up with a way, like say Nathan Rourke is selected, but he's a backup and he chooses to go, then keep the season going. You just got to find a replacement.
So you're thinking you're actually I really like that. So you're thinking of keeping the season going, replacing the players just for those couple of weeks or whatever as during the Olympics. So let's say Nathan York, he's gone for 2 weeks in the Olympics representing Canada. Unreal. But you have to put in who was the backup quarterback this year? Mazzoli, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
let's say if the Olympics happened this year, Mazzoli would be playing for the next 2 weeks. That's 2 games. That's not bad,
you
depending
don't
on how long the tournament honestly goes, right?
you don't lose much money, right? Too,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. The CFL is a gate-driven league, so it was like then COVID. They lost money, man.
Yeah,
Right?
they lost a
They all
lot.
came to a halt. So now you got to realize, like, hey, like, we stop it, or what you do is you just make it a bye week,
Yeah,
right?
I like
Maybe
that. Because
like
how long is the tournament supposed to last for? Because sometimes, like, they've never came out with dates or anything. Obviously, it's 2 to 3 years away, right? Um, they haven't came out with dates or anything or times, but I want to say that a flag football tournament should not be longer than a week.
right? Yeah, agreed. But what you could do is put a league wide bye week, one bye week,
Yep.
and then all you have to do is 1 week where you got to replace the people. That's it,
Yeah, and
right?
I actually really like that. I really like that a lot. So,
And because
it,
then you don't, it's like hockey. Like sure, like hockey, like they take a 2 week pause because they can afford it
mhm,
or whatever it is for when the Olympic comes. But like in the CFL, you could take a week pause on give 1 week. And then for that
yeah,
1 week, all your guys can learn their positions or whatnot. Because realistically, I'm not shading on any CFL guys, but like it's gonna be harder to get the Americans from the CFL to the Olympics than it is the Canadians to the Olympics from the CFL. So you're still gonna have if you have an American quarterback starter still,
yeah.
your chances are still pretty good that he's gonna be the starting quarterback during those 2 weeks off,
Yeah, like
right?
I could like there's I'd say I don't even know how many players are actually on a flag football roster, to be honest. I am so out of the flag football game that I don't even want to ever touch it. Like, as a tackle football coach, and you could agree with that, I don't want to be anywhere near flag football. It is ruining the sport in my opinion. And that's a take that I will take, and I don't care how much hate I get on it. Get flag football out of my face. That's a kid's game. Um, but yeah, what I really do like is like the players that are probably could be going from the CFL is like Tyrell Ford, Nathan York, probably a couple of receivers. But this is only if NFL players are not allowed to go because but like obviously the CFL for Canada, a lot of players would go because there's not really many skill position Canadians in the National Football League right now. Like Theo Johnson would probably go, the tight
Yeah,
end.
Theo would go, Chase Brown would
Chase
go,
Brown would go. Sidney Brown would go too.
Cindy Brown, Josh Palmer would he go?
I think Josh Palmer would be a receiver on that team for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say that it makes a lot more sense for NFL to allow their athletes to go because it's a month or two almost out of training camp. So this is kind of good re-up. But the one thing is, even if players are granted to go, do they even take it? Because do they want to risk an injury? I don't know, a hamstring, I don't know, a sprained ankle, whatever injury you can get in flag football. For sure not broken bones. If you do, that's hilarious. But do they want to risk injuries right before training camp starts? And for the CFL players, do they want to risk injuries during the season to go play this tournament? Yeah, it's cool to represent your country. Don't get me wrong. It's the greatest feeling and it's the greatest honor you can get as an athlete to go represent your country. But do you want to risk injury for the guys that are paying you back home? I think no.
I mean, what it needs to come down to is like I'm gonna bring it back to hockey because hockey's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
You got to look at the CFLPA and the NFLPA and what they're gonna do if they allow them players to go.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do for the health, the insurance, all that kind of stuff to let them go? Because if
And do
like
those players get paid if they're in the middle of the season? Do they lose game checks? Do they lose weeks, like a week check?
exactly, right? There's so many questions. That's why I'm glad they're talking about it 2 years out.
Yeah.
'Cause it gives them time to, figure this out and get it right so that everybody wins, or at least everybody's happy and they come to a solution where, like, hey, this is a solution. We have to go with this because we're looking at all the pros and cons and we're trying to make sure it's beneficial for, the league itself, but as you as players.
Yeah, I really like it now because man, if this was, you know, like 2, 3 years ago, the old committee or the old commissioner, because I think Stuart Johnson's a tremendous guy. A lot of people have a lot of bad takes on him, but I think he's really trying his hardest to grow the game. I know the rule changes. A lot of people disagree with it, and you know, rightfully so, because he is a little bit disrupting the game why people are already in love with it. But you got to think about it. He's doing a tremendous job. But the last commissioner, he would have waited probably a month, 2 months to talk about this. This is how much things have changed, in my opinion. Randy Ambrosie always waited for last minutes. He never wanted to do anything. Stuart Johnson comes in and he goes, "We're making these changes for the next 2 years." Bop, 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 bop.
Exactly.
Love that. That's the type of commissioner you want. That's a commissioner that wants to actually grow the game. Well, we had a commissioner that just talked about growing the game. This is Stuart Johnson. I think he's the man that brings the Canadian Football League the 10th team.
Oh, man, yes, the 10th team. That would be huge. Right? You got it. He's got it. He's got it planned out. He's got it going on. He's got all these rule changes. But yeah, like, you can agree or disagree. But what he's doing is he's looking for the best for the league. And
Yeah.
how many years have the CFL fans been talking about adding that 10th team? And it should be out east, right? We all think that, and we all probably agree, like true CFL fans know.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's just like you got to accept what's going on because this guy's just trying to make the league better, and I respect it.
I really respect that. I got to ask you this. Three cities that deserve a CFL team right now. I know it's tough.
Well,
I put you on the spot. I know. I put you on the spot, but I
I
think you
would
could think of it.
say where did they do it in Nova Scotia, right? Like they played that game out in Nova Scotia,
Yeah, touchdown Atlantic.
touchdown Atlantic. So I'd say two cities out there. So you could play Halifax, Nova Scotia, or PI, but PI is a little farther, but that would be an option. And then you could do another west one if you want. You could do Kelowna, BC, or you could do Victoria Island. But Victoria Island's a little farther, so you could do Kelowna, BC.
Yep.
Um, yeah, those are the options. But I think the main one would be everybody agrees that Halifax would be the team,
Yeah.
or you name it the Atlantic, whatever it is, because people have dropped names like the Atlantic Schooners, because
Yeah.
that's like
And
they've
dude,
dropped
they
it.
could have been awesome, man. I just don't know what happened to it, man. Because, dude, touchdown Atlantic was a success in my eyes year in, year out. Don't know why they driving away from it. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what has stung the conversations. I don't know what conversations they're having. A team in Halifax, a team just in Nova Scotia needs to happen. My three teams, personally, London, Ontario, Windsor, and Halifax. Those are my three cities that I think deserve a team right now because London has the population, Windsor has the grit feel, the Detroit type feel, the Michigan type feel, everything type feel in there, just toughness, grit. They will have a passionate fan base. London will have a passionate fan base. Everyone loves going to Western football games. The London Beefeaters are a success. London, whatever team name, London CFL would be tremendous in my eyes.
Yeah, you know what? And I was gonna say you can use like London and Windsor. That's not that far from the States to bring in your American fans,
Yeah,
right? That's huge. Like, yeah, you got Buffalo, like that's close to Hamilton. But like if you go Windsor, that's not that far from Detroit, and Detroit can bring in those American fans that, gives you that revenue and gives you that gate. What you need is that gate fee, is that
just
people
like just like how many Americans go and watch. You know, like the amount of Americans that I've met, um, just going to CFL games, especially in Toronto, like going to the Argos games, or even Hamilton Tech guys. There's a lot of Americans in the stands, you know, and they're like, this is my first CFL game. I go, where are you from? And they'll be like, I'm from Michigan, or I'm from Cleveland, or stuff like that. Like, that's cool because the craziest thing is they're here for vacation. They're coming in the summertime. They're coming to Canada for vacation, but when they see, well, what is that stadium? Not the CFL stadium. I got to go watch the CFL game. I've never gone. I'm gonna go check it out just because Hamilton and I want to say Toronto, we're close to the border. They're close to the border, and stuff like that. So we bring. I think Ontario teams already bring in a lot of American fans, or at least a lot of people that are curious about the CFL. London and Windsor, they would do numbers too. Halifax, though, number one on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
Then I think it would be. It doesn't matter who's two or three for Windsor and London, but those are my three right there. But yeah, that'd be awesome. Also, another question. What other, what else? So not on this list of their agenda for the winter meetings. What do you want them to discuss?
Um, I mean, they do it well already, the free agency and the windows and that, and letting them people go. But I think that the problem is, and we just saw it where we could talk about it. They're releasing guys early, and then
Hmm.
they're going signed to another team.
Yeah,
I don't like that as much because look at Casey Sales was a Hamilton Tiger. They release him, and a week later, whatever it is, he goes to sign with the BC Lions, right? Because we were going to mention that today.
yeah,
I don't like that because it's almost like the transfer portal.
yeah. But why is let's get into that. Actually, let's get into this topic right now. Honestly, the free like the Casey Sale topic. Did they ever come out with a reasoning on why they released him?
No, they never said anything. They just
And
said they
I
were
can't figure that
releasing.
out. That's terrible. I think that's a terrible. Casey Sale was an all-star, was he not?
Yeah, he was, and he's a Grey Cup champion.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? And like that's the thing. Like, we're not getting anything for him.
Hmm.
He's still under contract, and he's getting released to go sign with another team. I don't like that. Like, I get the Adarius Pickett because he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Wanted to test free agency before it opens because he's like, well, this is my shot because I could get paid now and I could set the bar.
Yeah.
Future guys who are going to
Oh,
be.
the camera just got cooked. Uh-oh. Yikes, that camera's terrible. Wait, I'm gonna pause this for. All right. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties right there. I was just tweaking for 5 minutes right there. That was crazy. But we were talking about Casey Sales. Let's continue that conversation about Casey Sales. I forget what we were even talking about with Casey Sales.
Well, what we were talking about is because you were saying, like, what do you think should change or what should happen? And I
Hmm.
was saying, we released him while he's still under contract. And I don't like that because we're
Yeah.
not getting anything out of him. It's like the transfer portal and the NCAA, right? Like,
A mess.
guys are just leaving and they get to go wherever they want. And you're not getting anything for them because the schools are paying them. Like, sure, now that Casey Sales signs with BC, how much is he getting paid more? Like, was it a contract disagreement with the Ticats? Like, did he want more money? Did they want to rework his contract? But then you look at, and we're going to a Darius Pickett. That guy got released before free agency because he wanted a chance. So he was an upcoming free agent. I get that. That's fine.
Yep.
If you want to try to set the market for your position before the free agency starts because you want to get ahead of the game and you want to sign and you want to be like, I'm the first one, then you don't have to worry about a whole winter about where you're signing,
Yep.
right? But Casey Sales, man, we were mentioning before, technical difficulties happen. You said like, why are we letting this guy go? What's the reason?
And,
There's
and and that's what I hate. I think every release should come with a region. Just lie to us. Just lie to the fans. I'm in a couple Facebook groups with Hamilton Tiger Cats fans. Just because so gotta be the fans with the fans, man. Um, so I was in it. I was just looking at. I was on Facebook literally this morning because he signed today. He signed this afternoon, was it right?
Yeah.
Everyone's shocked on why he got released. I don't know what the comments are like right now on when he signed with BC. I bet there's going to be some heartbroken fans. But the thing that doesn't make sense is, I thought they released him because he's trying to make one more attempt at the National Football League. That was my first. That's my first thought. That was my first thought. Oh, Casey Sales is going to go to the NFL. That's awesome. Are going to go and try and get NFL opportunities. Unreal. then you sent me a thing, or did I send you? I think you sent it to me today, right? BC Lions signs him, and I'm just what the heck? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm a Hamilton Tiger Cats fan. If people didn't know, um, I think that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Because now BC is getting an all-star Grey Cup champion, no D tackle, joining their lineup. Like what? Like if it's a ratio thing, I don't know. Like, but I want an answer.
Yeah,
Like Ottawa gave a reason
no
why they
way
were
it's doing it
pick.
again. Battery exhausted,
Oh,
bro. I'm just gonna thug it out.
we're thugging it out.
So sorry, guys. We're gonna have to thug it out with this bad camera for the rest of the day. Camera's just playing like ass. But yeah, now look how bad this looks. This looks terrible, but we're gonna thug it out no matter what. Hoping my audio sounds way better than what I look like right now, right? I hope it does. How does it sound on your end, Anson? Good?
Sounds great.
All right, bet. This is gonna be terrible. I might just put a focal point on you and just my voice. Nah, we're gonna live with it. We're gonna have to live with it today. Um, But yeah, releasing players a little too early without explanation is ridiculous in my mind. And I think it's always going to be a little ridiculous. Like Adarius Pickett, at least we knew what was going to happen. Like he's going there to go test the free agency market right away. Great, tremendous. Casey Sales, he didn't even want to. What did he ask for the release? There's no comment, there's no word, there's nothing on it. They just released him on a Monday.
Yep.
Ridiculous
Just woke
in
up.
my mind.
The GM and the manager, the GM and the coach woke up and they just both agreed, yeah, let's just release this
Yeah,
guy.
we're done with him, man.
Like that's the thing. Like, with your brother playing,
Mm,
like he gets the reason behind it and all that kind of stuff if something goes wrong or like, like a positive reason why they want to bring him in,
mm.
etc. But that's the one thing the CFL lacks is the insider media.
Yeah.
What caused him to be released? Because like you look at the NFL, guys get released because they were guaranteeing money or they were supposed to get incentives, but they don't want to pay it out, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
right? All that kind of stuff. Same with the NHL, same with the NBA, MLB, all that kind of stuff. But the CFL, like, there's not enough behind it. Like, sometimes they say, because, like we said, Adarius Pickett got released because he wanted to test free agency. Casey Sales, he's getting released and then he's signing with another team out west. Like, what's going on? Like, he still wants to play football, but why does he not want to still play football for the Ticats? Because what I thought he came to Hamilton was because he wanted to play for the best in the East, and that's the Hamilton Ticats. That's a biased opinion, but you know what I mean? Like he wanted to come here, and now all of a sudden he doesn't want to be here, and he goes to signs with another team. It seems a little fishy that there's no reason behind it because there is reasons on why guys get released or they get moved on from, but they never say why. Like it could be a ratio thing, could be a
Yeah.
contract dispute or he just was done with Hamilton, but we don't know and it doesn't say. And that's the thing that I think is lacking is we don't have that person that can walk in to a CFL office and be like, "Hey, why is this guy getting released? Why don't we know about it?"
Yeah, like or even like a spokesperson for the team. Like look at the NFL for an instance. NFL for a second here. They have billions of insiders. They literally have team writers. Team writers will tell them go on Twitter, make a tweet on why this guy just got released or the reasoning behind it on what the coach have said to release him. CFL does not do anything, but CFL has writers, man. They have team writers. They have team media. Make a nice little tweet as an insider and stuff like that. Like the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they have a whole Ticats audio. They have literally a beat writer with the team that used to be at whatever the Hamilton newspaper was. I forget
Yeah.
his name right now on top of my head. Those are the type of guys that you need to be like, hey, like when Casey Sales got released. Casey Sales released, and then it says, say the reasoning on why he got released, or more to come, more information. Like in the NFL, a guy will get released, a player will get released, and it'll just be this player released. And then a couple minutes later, Adam Schefter will go, reasoning for release or something like that, on a press note or stuff like that. The CFL, there's guys that cover this league tremendously. Absolutely tremendously. I think the TSN panel does it greatly. I think Three Down Nation does a tremendous job. There's a lot of there's a lot of social media meme accounts too that cover the CFL that are that do a tremendous job. There's a lot of media guys out there that just do a tremendous job on covering the CFL. If the CFL front offices just let those guys in, just to have some insider information so the fans really feel like they're getting the most attention. That's why people love the NFL. Because people get to have debates on why guys got released. I know me and the guys were out for beers last night. And we're talking about coaching firing or whatsoever, and then we're quoting what Adam Schefter uh, tweeted out, or we're quoting out what Ian Rappaport tweeted out. Man, imagine you guys going to be discussing what Anson Gross or Daniel Federico tweeting out about a CFL release or stuff like that. People like that in the NFL, and I think there's thousands, millions of fans and CFL fans that would love some answers for why stuff happens.
Exactly. And like this is to go back, is going back a little bit because we talked about it. The new app you're doing, that transaction page, I hope it's on there and they actually, keep it up to date with the
Oh
transaction.
my goodness, that app too. The discussion of that app. Do you know when that's coming out? Is that next season or is that 2027?
I have no clue. I would like the app to come out hopefully this year would be nice. But like that's the one thing they're lacking is the transactions on their
Yeah.
website is a
And
little
it
slow.
just looks super ugly. It goes what is this? It goes active to or sent to delete or
Yeah,
active roster, like stuff
exactly.
like that. It looks so chaotic and ugly. Just make it look pretty. Make it look nice. And every single team getting an upgrade with their websites. I think the websites right now are not bad, but they're
Yeah.
getting their own domain or whatever. That's tremendous. Stuart Johnson is doing a wonderful job on trying to expand this. There's a lot of wants. There's a lot of need. The need starts with explanations on release, on trades, coaches' comments. I think we need a lot more coaches' comments. I think we need a lot. I think we need at the end of the year. I think we need every single like how they did in the NFL. You got the coaches, you got the owners, you got the meetings, and a press conference in front of local media, and they just like we gotta do stuff like that. That's the little stuff because people think it's all matters on the what the product on the field is. There's also you need to create some storylines here. We need storylines, and we need the little media attention that you let local media guys in for your press conferences that you probably have after every practice. But if you have them during the off season, like, hey, yo, Bob Dice just got hired as special teams coordinator with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Imagine you do a little media thing with that, like welcome him to Hamilton. He's answered some questions, talk about the futures. Orlando Steinhauer's right behind him. The general manager's right beside him, and the head coach is right beside him. Like those guys are just talking about the hiring and stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that
Yeah.
I want, and that's what I want to see. Just like too, when the Baltimore Ravens owner was had a meeting today talking to local media, talking to NFL media about what is next for this team because after Harbaugh got fired, what is their search? It's like a little update. People love updates on what organizations are doing. There's 9 teams in this league. You can do that easily, way much easier. And I know and you can do it. You don't have to pay these you have to pay the beat writers if they're hired by you. But there's a lot of guys that already have media companies that are getting paid by the media company. So you don't even have to pay for these guys to come or endorse your league. Just let them do their jobs, and that would be tremendous. And I think it would honestly bring a lot more headlines around the Canadian Football League. It all starts with the media, man. And that is my opinion. If that made sense, if it didn't make sense, let me know in the comments, and I'll for sure love to jump on that topic once again.
Yeah, and you know what? You want to bring up something that Stuart Johnson's done that's very criticism, or like some people might lie. We mentioned a little bit, but we got to get into it. The advertising on the back of the jerseys.
Let's take a
Let's
look at that. I know you have a jersey
yeah,
that
let
you
me
just
get it.
bought.
I'll get
Yeah,
it for you. I'll get it for you,
go
bud.
get it.
We'll show you.
So for people that are wondering, the advertisements on the back of the jerseys here. So he has a Greg Bell jersey right here, and that is right there. They're talking about that at the winter meetings right now, having advertised it. So they wore that on the playoff. Every single playoff team wore those advertisements at the bottom of their jerseys by the tailbone. Um, that honestly looks cooler than I think BC's did and Saskatchewan's did. But at the same time, I find it a little ugly. I have a jersey right here from Thailand. Do they want the jerseys to just look like a sponsor? Like this jersey looks unreal. Looks unreal because it's a
Love it.
soccer jersey. Soccer jerseys, you can have this.
Yes.
Just like the Japan jersey. CFL, I think you have a sponsor here, a sponsor here, you have the Canadian flag here, and you have your province flag here.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Do you really need another sponsorship in the like in the bottom? Like, look at that Calgary. Look at the Calgary Stampeders. I know because the camera's really bad right now. You got the financial group Western, and you got Play Alberta, and then you got the province flags and the country's flag. Do you really need another sponsorship? And if you do need another sponsorship, put it on every single field.
Yeah. Like here's something that we can talk about sponsorships. I was at games this year and I was watching games on TV for the CFL. Why are there ads for the Disney Cruise Line? Like, no, but like, do you get what I mean? Why
Yeah.
is the cruise line being advertised for the CFL? Like, kudos to them. They got the Disney Cruise Line in the CFL,
Yeah, like pretty big sponsorship.
right? But why is it on there? It doesn't make sense. Like, if you want these ads and you want them to show up, you need them to be not relative to the sport, but you need them to not be something that isn't like that. Cause like it's no shade. Like you got Disney, that's a huge company, but like it's like if it's like walking around and being like, hey, Disney on the back of your tailbone where your butt
Yeah, like
cheeks.
it's just I honestly think I think the CFL jerseys are very unique. I think they're unique of every single sport. I think also I'm thinking a lot right now, to be honest, for the first time in my life. But what I'm trying to say is the CFL jerseys are clean right now, in my opinion. They're super clean. They look tremendous. You know what? I think I can live with that sponsor at the tailbone. Like I think I truly can live with it. It's not gonna kill me, but at the same time, though, I want to look at jerseys and be like, that is. I want to be like, that's honestly pretty cool. Then you see a sponsor in the tailbone. I go, that's a little ugly and that's a little odd. But I think over time, more times you see it, we'll be like, oh, it's actually not too bad. But you got to stop buying sponsorships. And you want to European hockey teams have sponsorships all over their jerseys, all over the helmets, all over. Sometimes they have little stickers on the visors, and then they have it all in their pants. They have some sponsorships on their socks. I get it. Sponsorships are what keeps the leagues flowing and all this. You have the biggest field of all time. You have a ginormous football field, the biggest in all pro sports. You have end zones that don't have sponsorships in them. Put the sponsorships in the end zones.
But what else do they also have? Technology,
Yeah.
right? You
Like
don't
look at
have to
this. Look
put it,
at TSN. Sorry to cut you off, but look what TSN does.
yeah, you don't have to put it on the field. You can do what the hockey, because what the hockey does is along their boards, like the video boards, right? If you go to a game in person, you see like hundreds of ads, but
Yeah,
when you
just on
watch
those
it on
boards.
TV,
Yeah.
it's one ad that rotates through, and it rotates multiple ads, but it's one all around the board. Do that for the CFL.
Yeah.
Like you're like do first quarter presented by mobile or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Second quarter presented by Wendy's, or third quarter presented
Bro,
by
it used to be like that. Like you used to be
yeah.
like the Grey Cup, the Grey Cup brought to you by Wendy's and stuff like that. And you,
Stop.
yeah, pretty cool stuff. Like you used to have massive sponsorships, big name sponsorships. They still do for sure. The Canadian Football League still do. Um, but that's how you do it. I really like that. First quarter brought to you by Big Tire, by whatever the sponsors are. Like I'm trying to look around my room if there's like anything sponsorship. First quarter sponsorship by Gatorade. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Prime, Logan Paul. I don't know.
But
Like
yeah,
but yeah, like that. Like I like that idea a lot.
because they used to have it. It was like Friday Night Football presented by Wendy's.
That's what it was, not the Grey Cup.
But,
That was what it was.
what happened to that?
And the OG Wendy's logo too, bro. If you go back and watch the Canadian Football League games on YouTube, like I do, like bro, I'm saying bro too a lot. I've realized that. I'm so sorry. Um, But when I go to the game, I go rewatch the games on YouTube all the time. I love it. I just watched the Grey Cup when they played at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was sold out. That looked beautiful. I just watched the Grey Cup also in Toronto, like the Toronto one, when they had three halftime acts. Odd, but Justin Bieber came out. Didn't even notice that. I don't know why I never noticed that. It was 100th Grey Cup. I was probably 13 years old, maybe little younger. Awesome. CFL has an audience. People go, they gone away. They left. No, they didn't leave. They're at their homes now. They're at home. Like they're at home watching these games. Um, the fans are there.
Oh yeah.
The sponsorships are there too. I honestly, God, if you just put sponsorships in the end zones, all this, put it on the fields electronically or even in person, it won't affect me. I think it would look awesome. But don't touch the jerseys, man. Like, look how awesome that jersey looks right there. Look how awesome the back of that jersey looks right there. And then, but pull up your jersey once again. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, we have to.
See, that's not bad. Like that's like I think I can live with that.
It blends in,
It
right? Like,
blends in. But there's
yeah.
some guys that have like, how that actual logo, like that circle right there is like blue and red or something, I'm pretty sure. That and some jerseys, I think Calgary actually had that for the playoffs.
Yeah, Montreal did because their colors and that.
Yeah, their colors match.
BC's was orange,
Yeah,
right? But yeah, so I get what you're saying, and it's another.
it blends in.
It's don't touch what's already good.
Yeah. Like I get it. Touch the rules and stuff like that. Everyone can live with that, even though if they disagree or not. But we gotta move on though. We gotta move on. Because we've been talking about this topic for a while. Overall thoughts though, don't touch the jerseys, man. Sponsorships are there. Bring back Wendy's too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, but let's talk about the report cards for a little bit. All right.
Ooh.
Hamilton Tiger Cats, overall grade got the best. What shocked you the most though? I'm gonna go with shocked me the most. Actually, shocked me the most was actually, I don't even know what really shocked me. I want to say Ottawa because they got like C C C B B B D plus on the strength and conditioning. That would probably shocked me. I could get why they got a bunch of C's and stuff like that.
I think nothing that shocked me, but I
Yeah.
think which actually showed was the jump for Edmonton from a
Yeah.
D plus to a B minus.
Okay. What's up, guys? We're back. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is pretty sick. I feel like we're just gonna keep on going because I have a great feeling it's gonna cut out again. But yeah,
Yeah.
keep on going. Keep on going.
So Edmonton jumped from a D plus to a B minus from last year to this, like from 2024 to 2025.
Yeah.
That is a huge jump,
Ginormous.
right? Like their faculties and equipment, the family treatment was huge. Their team travel was an A plus. They had the best team travel,
Yeah.
right? But like again, another bias one, and it's gonna be Hamilton, but it shows
They
like
had
it
the best. They had the
they
best.
had nothing under a B.
Yeah. I'm looking
Everything.
at it right now. Uh, what I really, really like, and I think my takeaway from this is, where is it? Aon training camp. Dude, I've witnessed their training camps. They treat the players generously, tremendously. They're at McMaster. They're in the best dormitory at McMaster University. That is the perfect grade. Why not A plus? I don't know, but an A, I can agree with that.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Like, it's crazy to think that, like how this works, but this is what we need. This is
Yeah.
this is that insider to the CFL,
Yeah. And,
right?
and you know what I like too? It's all anonymous players, a part of the CFLPA. You can kind of figure out you can kind of figure out probably who's going to be voting in those report cards. But I really like that. The one thing that shocks me the most, but first actually, um, treatment of families B for Hamilton. I agree with that. Could be an A. I honestly think no CFL team actually treats like the CFL teams don't treat players' families bad. The one thing that has shocked me is the Calgary Stampeders, D plus. Um, Overall, the CFL does a great job. Let's say you are coming from Ohio to come play in a Canadian city. You have wife, kids, or whatever you have. they do a good job on making sure the housing is there. You guys got it. Everything's good. D plus. Something must have happened internally for the Calgary Stampeders, but overall, it's kind of like they've shocked me a little bit. I think Calgary has been trying to, get better at these things that slowly happen, like the medical staff.
Yeah, and you
There,
want
like,
to talk about
I don't think there's a single bad medical staff in the CFL. This is a pro league, but there's got to be a different reason that I truly don't know.
yeah, like I'm looking at it right now. Like, here's another example. You're mentioning it. Montreal, F family treatment.
Yeah, see, like that's crazy.
Like there's the CFL does its good job, like because like your brothers had you know what is with your brother, right? Like that's the thing. Like an F is crazy for
An F
family.
is super crazy. Like it actually shocks me. It stuns me that they got an F. I'm stunned at a lot of these because like Ottawa C, Saskatchewan a C, and people are gonna be like, "Why do you care about treatment of families?" I just think they're not getting a truthful grade, in my opinion. Because, dude, I've seen it firsthand. A lot of people have seen it firsthand. They get allowances for like housing and stuff like that. Players get allowances uh for housing. The teams put you up in the housing. If you don't have a family, you're gonna go live in a single bedroom apartment, or you're gonna go live in a dorm style house, like a apartment. You're gonna live in a
Yeah.
dorm if you don't have a family. If you have a family, they will set you up with a nice house. Hamilton, I know Hamilton will set you up with a house with a couple of your teammates though. But if you have a family, they're gonna try and make it say you and your kids and family, whatever, blah blah blah. Here's allowance, whatever. Find something. Like I don't know. An F is terrible. Another report card that kind of shocked me a little bit, just for being in such a big city, the Toronto Argonauts, a D plus coaching staff. I honestly think because these report cards probably came out after when all the transitions.
Yeah.
D plus football operations C plus ownership business operations C plus. That cannot be a C plus. Want to know why that cannot be a C plus? Isn't it MLSE that owns them?
Yeah.
Like I could totally see it because they're probably not hands on, but that's why you have like a president's group and stuff like that. Facilities and equipment C plus. They play at BMO Field. Uh,
But
they
I
but they do train at like a high school. Like I can totally get that. Equipment, they have the best of the best helmets.
yep.
They have great equipment over there. Therapy staff A, strength condition A minus, nutrition and diet B, team travel A, has to be A. They're rich. Training camp B minus, treatment of families B minus. Some of those things that shock me, the most that shocks me is the facilities and equipment. Yes, I know they don't practice at actually BMO Field. I'm pretty sure they take a bus to where they practice. I think all the time. Um, I could be mistaken. Someone will let me know if I'm mistaken. You would just think better over how big MLSE is overall, how rich MLSE is overall, how rich the Toronto Argonauts are alone. You just think everything would be better, right?
Yeah, you 100% would think it's better. Because then like you take a look, it's almost it's like comparing it's not comparing, sorry, but like this is like let's take a look into the NFL. The Green Bay Packers,
Yeah.
they're owned by the fans,
Yeah.
right? Or the city, the fans, whatever it is,
Yeah.
however it is. So
Pretty
like,
dope. Pretty cool.
right? Be pretty cool if the CFL did something like that. But at the same time, like you look at it, it goes probably the reason why the report cards are good because they have the facility and they have the board members to do it. So that's why maybe the Argos are a C plus, and it's because like their owners are a big corporation.
Yeah. And they're not as
Don't
hands-on with the team like they
Yes.
who's the president right now? It's Pinball Clemens, right?
Yes.
So like, but he is hands-on. Like he's
Yeah,
very
he's
active.
very hands-on.
Obviously, you have to be if you're a president of a professional team. But I'm just saying, like, you know what? I can get that. Saskatchewan's, I think I love it. A minus on the coaching staff. Football operations A minus. Two of those I agree with. Coaching staff could be an A plus. You guys just won the Grey Cup. Come on. Give them the A plus. Same with the football operations. They've done everything tremendously. ownership and business operations B. That's insider for information like that we would like to know and why these are like a B. Uh, facilities and equipment B. I think it could be an A because man, they have one of the nicest looking stadiums. They have one of the nicest locker rooms. They have one of the nicest everything. A B, therapy, medical staff. A B, I don't know. Like I'm not there. I'm just listing it off. Strength and condition, A minus. Treatment of families, C. See, like, what do the CFL do? What do these CFL teams do to families for players to just be like C, D, C, D, C, C, D, B, 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 A, with these bad ratings?
See now I can see it as Saskatchewan and Winnipeg because they got nothing out there,
Yeah,
right? Right? They got nothing. So like all the family treatment. But then again, why the family treatment shouldn't be bad?
yeah,
Because there's nothing out there. So there should be plenty for you to, live and bring your family there and just live
yeah.
like a quiet life.
And we're just speculating that though. Like treatment of family
Yeah.
could have been like what they do like in-house. Like do they do anything for the families like post-game or pre-game or stuff like that? My treatment of families and my thought and my logic is getting your family out here, getting your wife, getting your kid out here, fly you know what I mean? Like helping us move to a different city. That's what I'm thinking treatment of families. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
obviously I'm thinking of what they do in-house too for your families. But like do you think that too? Like they're thinking of like how like try to get your family to move here? Like is that what you're thinking treatment of families is like? Is
I don't know. Like I think you're on the right page with the pregame, postgame, and game day, right? Like how are they treating them? Because like you hear like all these guys in like the college, NFL, hockey, basketball, like they get suites, baseball. Like
yeah, I get
look at Juan Soto. The guy got a suite for life with the
yeah.
in his
Should and
contract.
it could go with like tickets too. It's like how many like some teams only give out two tickets for their families and friends.
That could be another thing.
That
That
could
could
be
be
another factor, right? But
yeah,
like the greatest thing is we're just this is a big for the people watching and listening. This is just a big speculation on our part. Like this is not no journalism work. We're literally just going with the information. We're just speculating what it is. And want to know why we're speculating this? If you go back to our earlier topic, it's because there's no insider information on this. They just on a random what was it 6 days ago? So on a random Wednesday, they just posted on Instagram the CFLPA. Boop, here's the report cards, and it's like, damn. You know those report cards you'd get in elementary school and high school, and like the reasoning on why you got your grades?
exactly.
Can we get those? Can we get those by any chance? I would absolutely love that. Like, I think if I could go and find my old report cards back in the day and people don't know what I'm talking about, um, there used to be a comment section. Like, literally, it'd go, the class median, your overall grade, always me, always lower than the class median. But then and then the comments right beside it, Daniel is talkative. Daniel stands up a lot. This, like that type of stuff. Why can we not get that? It goes, Saskatchewan treats family bad because of this. C is this, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what I would like.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you that. And he kind of made me laugh a little bit with your reference, but I get it. Like it's like, like when you're reading it, it's just like, oh, like, your class median is like the class average C plus and
Yeah,
the league like you because it shows the league like if you pull up the picture if you find it
yeah,
if anybody's watching or listening if you have the chance to but like you can like we can see it right now like the overall score of the league is a B minus
yeah.
so okay, so your league mean is a B minus. Why is BC a C? Like, what's the reason behind it? Like, why is it all adding up to that? Like, why is there nutrition and diet an F? Like, we need the reasons behind it. And this is where it comes back to where is that insider information? Like, it could be anonymous. That's all we want. We
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to,
like, you can literally just them like the CFL like front office could literally make a Twitter account and Instagram account. Just literally goes no per source, no nothing, just breaking news. This release for this. Breaking news. CFL report cards out. Notes. If I'm thinking like I don't know how the survey actually happens. I don't know how it works. I really and I know it's only like a general like I don't know. I know I'm pretty sure it's only like sometimes up to 12 or 7 to 8 players on per team
yeah,
that's getting surveyed. That's not a big margin. There's almost 60 guys on a team. Like if you're counting practice roster. Like that's not a big margin. Um but I know like I don't know how the survey actually goes, but I want to say there has to be like reasoning behind it. Like you can't just go it's like a like you know those Google surveys where it just go and you can just click a one answer like it's like multiple choice goes A, B, C. Some guys they're not even say they're not even taking it seriously. How do you know they're taking the survey seriously? Because if they just go around there, I don't even want to do the survey, but I have to because I'm part of the CFLPA. B B B B B A C C C. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they like who knows if they're really taking it seriously? But you know who is really taking it seriously? The BC Lions team. Their operations. They got a C or B across the board. Seven nutrition and diet. Seven a grade seven on nutrition and diet. But you know what they're doing? They have now opened up plans, they revealed plans on the renovations that they're doing to the practice facilities and the locker room. I'm gonna pop the photos here somewhere along the video. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. They look unreal.
Yeah, man. And like you said, they're beautiful. They look great. I'm excited for what they're gonna do because
Yeah,
that is right there. That is the new owner, right? Like the owner that took over recently. That is a guy who is looking at it and going, I want people to come play here. I want to be the best of the best, and I want people to compete. And I want to compete for the Grey Cup. I want to host Grey Cups.
yeah,
I want people to come. I want to make money, but I want to make money for the league,
yeah,
right? So if they host Grey Cups, they host, they host teams and they host the players, and they're like, hey, we're the like, because right now the place to be, and it's again, it's a biased opinion, but it is because of the CFL report cards, the place to be is Hamilton.
yeah. And I agree. And the report cards don't lie, right? They can't lie. They
Exactly.
can't lie.
Hamilton is the place to be. So
Yeah.
now you're looking at it as BC is not the place to be. They're a C. That is the lowest out of everybody. You
But
got
to be
C.
honest, if you think about it, like BC is awesome. Is awesome. They
Yeah.
play in BC Place, beautiful place there. The Vancouver Whitecaps might be moving out of BC Place. So, you know who could be having just a sole purpose of BC Place? Minus, I think, the Northern Super League women's play there. I could
Yeah.
be mistaken. But the sole purpose could be for the BC Lions football.
Yeah. And that's where it drives in. Like,
Yeah,
hey, here, come play at this stadium, come play for this organization, come play for this owner, come play for this coaching staff,
yeah,
and come play for the new facilities.
yeah,
It's like college, because like there every league's different, but it's also the same.
yeah,
Like the college and the alumni, they put all this money into them to build their new locker rooms, to build the new facilities and all that kind of stuff. By them doing this, it is basically waving a flag or
yeah.
waving a sign that says, "Hey, come play for us. We're the team to be now. Don't go play for Hamilton, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, blah 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 blah. If you want to play for a team in the West, BC is the team to be in the West because yeah, their team travel is also low, but if they can make that better, but it's also hard because they're coming from all the way out west
Yeah.
to the east and whatnot. So like the planes could be small. We don't know. This is
Yeah,
us.
like, we don't know. Like this is all speculation.
Yes. This is all speculation. So, but like that's the way to look at it is like what we see as fans and what we see with our own eyes and what the media is giving to us is we're looking forward to what's happening. And like you said, you're gonna put up the pictures and they look great, like because
Mhm.
we've seen them,
They have like a sick bar right in the middle of the
right?
locker room. Like it's just
Exactly. Like it looks amazing.
no.
Who wouldn't want to go play there after these like renovations are done?
Yeah, right. Like right. Like to be honest though, like we're gonna have to switch topics just in a second because we are going way over time, and that's courtesy of that's because that's this is how good the conversation's been. But to be honest, report cards though, how deep if you're a fan, how deep do you look into this report card?
You got to take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, yeah.
With that, you got to be able to, look at it and go, okay, like, yeah, this is the general public eye. But like we said, there's no insider information. If you had insider and you got into depth with it, then yeah,
Yeah.
you can bash it all you want or you can praise it all you want. But the moral of the story is with everything going on in the CFL and what's being released and what's not being released, we're gonna mention it until it gets fixed, or at least we get a better inside,
Hmm.
is the insider access.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah. And going again on that topic of the insider information, man, like, dude, if we just had like if we fans just had like, you know what, I wish I gotta word this. I gotta word this correctly so I don't ever get in trouble. Um, so growing up, I always wanted to know what the Hamilton Tiger Cats are up to 24/7. I wanted a person to give me 24/7 updates on the
Yeah.
Hamilton Tiger Cats. Who wouldn't want that? I wanted to know what Zach Clark was doing before he went. Like, I wanted to know what Zach Clark was doing. I wanted to know if Henry Burris was coming back for another year or retiring, or what was Henry Burris like. Those type of teams, like long time ago. All right. I wanted to know what those guys are doing 24/7. I wanted to know what the offseason was. I wanted to know what the contract talks were. We only get little hints of the contract talks per source of Three Down Nation. Those guys they're so close to being 100% insiders. I don't know how they get contact details. Like, I'm loving how they're getting the contract details. Like, Stravo's getting 200K, giving us the whole breakdown on his contract. I love that.
Yeah.
We need that everywhere. We need that everywhere. Three Down Nation has been my go-to place for CFL news and breaking news and CFL updates for the past 5 years, maybe a little like since they started operating and becoming the voice or the insiders of the Canadian Football League. They're doing a terrific job. But if we had more guys like that, like if we had like beat writers too and stuff like that in house, releasing the news, what they're hearing, just eavesdrop on a front office talk, like, you know what I mean, like that type of stuff. I love
Yeah.
that. But
I
I
agree.
want to, I just, but one more shout out, sorry. $3 Nation. I, I, everyone in Canada appreciates you guys all.
Yeah, and man, you know what? And I don't know, like I don't know what's right and what's wrong here, but there's also I showed you too. Like there's a fan page for CFL Central.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Three Down Nation, but like I'm not giving them any credit. I'm just saying like that's what we need. Like
yeah,
the league has that. So you have a guy that's taking the time out of his day to just be like Three Down Nation because we all look up to Three Down Nation,
yeah,
right? As CFL fans, we look up because they're the ones that give us the information. So if somebody that's got a fan account similar to that, excuse me, is amazing. I love that because it shows like we need that information. And like you mentioned, we can talk about it quickly because we don't have much time. But Stavros getting paid the biggest
yeah.
safe like in the
Yeah,
CFL.
the most expensive safety in CFL history, 200K. And then like what how they like I took a screenshot of his details because I was just so in awe at Three Down Nation on like how the hell did you guys get this detail? Thank you for the details. So let's see, where could it be? The Hamilton Tiger Cats paid Stravos a $50,000 signing bonus to ink his 3-year contract extension. He has a 108,000 base salary, 20,000 in marketing money, 15,000 in housing, 15,000 in housing. That's probably rent. Like that, and what was their treatment of families? What was the Helen Tiger Cats' treatment of families?
I want
A
to
B
say
for reasons like that. You're giving your star player 15,000 in housing and a 6,000 travel allowance to equal up to 200K in hard money. The 29-year-old also received while 5,000 available in All-Star and award incentives, where he can maximum earn $205,000 in 2026. Three Now Nation getting information like that. Tremendous work. Amazing work. Beautiful work. Doing the
round of
people's
applause.
work. I love it. Good job, guys, man.
Hey,
But we gotta move to one more topic. You talk about that for a little bit. Talk about that for like one more second before we go to our last topic.
I mean, like, yeah, like, dude, Stavros, the guy, right?
Yeah.
But like, if it wasn't like you just gave us what we crave and what we need.
Yeah.
We want the NFL gives you the incentives, it gives you the guaranteed money, it gives you the base salary. That right there just proved how many people, just like ourselves and anybody watching or listening, finding out like this is what his contract is. That just gives you the itch, and you want to know like whose other contracts, like what is their base salary? What it like
Yeah.
Jamal Peters re-signed. Nobody, I'm not, don't like, I'm not 100% on this or not, but we don't know how much he re-signed for, like that I know of, right?
Yeah.
I might have missed it. Fear me not if you want to put in the comments, whatever it
Yeah.
is,
So put in the comments. There's always a fact checker out there.
right? But yeah, so like what we need that insider, and that's exactly what it is. And credit again, we're gonna give credit to where it's due is Three
Yeah.
Down Nation. for giving us
Yeah.
that information.
Man, Three Down Nation doing the people's work. To be honest, man, this show right here, with the news that they pump out on a daily, would not be happening right now with the information that we have been talking about today on this show, the Daniel Federico Show, the Fed Sports Network. But here we go. We got one more topic. All right, quarterback from London, Ontario, Laurier Golden Hawks product, Green Bay Packer training camp. Taylor Elgersma has been drafted this week for the Birmingham Stallions of the UFL, but he's not signing with the teams because per Three Down Nation, he's still trying to hope for an NFL spot. My takeaway from this: Taylor Elgersma should go play in the UFL for more fourth down football experience. Not a bad take. I would honestly ultimately love him to come to this Canadian Football League just to get the pro football and get 22 weeks underneath. But he is so locked in on making it to the NFL. I'm going to be totally honest here. I love seeing him going for this. At some point, he's playing the hardest. He's trying to get noticed or trying to get signed to a team in the hardest position to play football, the quarterback position, American position. Rourke is a great quarterback, fantastic quarterback, and he failed at getting an opportunity, just getting seen. He made great plays in that training camp with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he still wasn't actively seen. Actively seen me being like given a chance. Tyrell Eversma, coaches, people that have watched this guy play football have been preaching his arm talent. Why has he not been signed yet? He's done workouts for the past almost what year.
Especially
Nothing's
for
come
that
up
team.
from it yet.
He did it
What's
for the
up?
Dolphins,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. So
But
and
nothing's
it
coming from it yet. So I think it's UFL or CFL, dude. And I don't know what his reasoning is not. I think ultimately he's going to end up signing a deal with the Stallions. But if he's in it for money, he'd come play for the CFL because he would make probably 10 times more of that money just on his rookie salary than he would go play in a year in the UFL. Because I'm pretty sure UFL is at 45K right now.
so let's talk about it though. He's with the Birmingham Stallions who have Matt Corral
Yeah.
and Darren Hall.
Yeah, I think he could beat. I don't think he could beat Matt Corral, but I think he could beat
He could be Darren Hall.
Yeah,
He I
but
don't
he has to sign first though. Like that's the question because per Three Down Nation, they've been saying that he signed yet because he's actively trying to get onto a future contract with a team. Man, you'll get signed probably right after the season if you become the starter at the Stallions. Because man, in the UFL, the greatest thing is that league will give you an opportunity to start. These guys, this league, they know what their identity is. They know what the UFL league as a league knows their identity as a stepping stone for the National Football League. You know what the CFL's identity is? Being Canadian football and being the second best professional football league in the world. The UFL can't compete with the CFL. They can't even compete on kicking talent. They can't even compete on punting talent. They can't even compete on long snapping talent. The UFL. The CFL is better in every single aspect than the UFL. The quarterback play is more sharper. There's fans. Every single arena in the UFL looks like it's the COVID days where nobody is watching the games. There's only like 10,000 fans in an NFL stadium. I like the UFL because it gives us something to watch in the spring. I like it because there's a lot of storylines, especially at the quarterback position. Cavante Turpin, one of my favorite players on the Dallas Cowboys, had a shaky year, had a decent year. Cavante Turpin is a product of the XFL.
yeah.
A lot of good guys will come from that. But I'm not his agent. It would be smart if he's trying to stay in the American game, play in the UFL.
Come to the CFL though.
And look at that camera once again. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I think he should either come to the CFL for a season, 2 seasons, start his career, go to the NFL, or go play in the UFL. But what happens if he's not a starter? Like, what if he can't beat out Matt Corral? What if he never gets an opportunity? Is he just going to be wasting like a spring? Like, dude, at some point you're going to have to come to the CFL, or you're just going to have to call it quits.
I think you're right, but at the same time, I talked to this with my dad about it a little bit.
Yeah,
The UFL is right before any other season. Because we've seen it before where a bunch of UFL guys try to come to the CFL and it doesn't work, right? So like now you got to look at his Taylor Alderman is built for this league. So
Yeah.
he's going down to the UFL. He gets a full season. He gets to learn how to play football. It's pro football. It's not the CFL, which we agree, but it's also given him a chance to be like, hey, like this is like an everyday life of playing pro football.
Yeah.
So now it gives him the experience to be like, sure, go to the NFL, but the NFL, like, if you're not getting that chance, like we mentioned it today, all those guys getting futures contracts, congrats to them, but that
Yeah.
doesn't guarantee them a spot.
No, they have to ball in to get that contract, they have to make the team. To get that
Exactly.
contract, they have to go through training camp. To get that contract, they have to make it on the 53 or the practice roster. I want to say if they make on the practice roster at least. But
Yeah.
like there's that you have to achieve that contract, you have to go to training camp, man. You have to crack the roster. Future contracts are not you don't get money right away. You don't get money for just it's a future contract. But that's
Exactly.
congratulations on them getting that because like not many people do get the futures contract. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like only people that are within the NFL, like that are free agents right now, get future contracts. Just the amount of players that are leaving the CFL this year to just go and get a chance. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you though. I think most of those guys will be back in the CFL within 1 year.
Yep.
I hope not because it'll just be great for. I think it's great for the CFL when like an Alex Singleton happens where he
Oh my
leaves,
God.
like you know what I mean, like situation stuffs like that
Yeah.
that leave and like they still celebrate. He still celebrates the Calgary Stampeders.
Oh yeah.
He loves it. But guys like that go and still support the CFL, and now they're getting a massive following. He's a captain on the Denver Broncos, arguably right now one of the best defenses in the National Football League, and right now is still active in the postseason. About to go play next week against the Buffalo Bills. Alex Singleton is a Calgary Stampeder product, and people don't know that. You know, three players from the Calgary Stampeders just alone this year: Jalen Hutchins, defensive tackle, linebacker Jacob Roberts, and Damien Alfred. Those three guys from the Calgary Stampeders are going to play in the National Football League next year and competing for a future. Like that's what I think it is. Competing. You're competing for a futures contract. Yes, you signed the futures contract. You're going to sign to a futures contract. You're competing for the futures contract to hit the bank account. The direct deposit, man. When you make that team, I hope that. But what I'm saying is not to be disrespectful on any of them. They're going to be back in the sea. Like some of them are going to be. Some of the guys that list that we listed off earlier in the episode. Some of those people will be back in the CFL within a year or two. I think it's going to be Isaiah Woodland. Wooden.
Wouldn't.
Um, I want to say who else. Let me go look my
Evan
list.
Versu.
Yeah, Devin Veresuk. I think he could
The
be
only
back in
reason
it.
why, the only reason why it's the same thing with Nathan Rourke. He owns the Canadian flag.
Yeah, and
He
and and, and yeah, because you could look at these guys. These guys are American. Most of them are American. Who else? Like I don't know. I want to say this could be like really not bad. Uh,
I
Isaiah
think
Wood's like the only one that I could really put my finger on it
the
to
punt.
to come back. Maybe Dante Myers.
Yeah, I was shocked a little bit. Like he had a good year, but because he's going to the Bengals. The Bengals is a hard team to make.
Yeah.
But
Like that team's gonna be ridiculous, especially at the receiving position.
yeah, but I think Isaiah wouldn't because it's hard to make it as a kick returner because
Yeah.
Tyreek McAllister was, if people know, like CFL fans know, he got a chance in the NFL, but then he got released and now he's nowhere to be found.
Exactly. Stuff like that happens. And I want to be honest with you. It's don't discredit coming back to the Canadian Football League, man. There's so many players that have made Anthony Calvillo has made Henry Burris, like guys like have made tremendous careers in the Canadian Football League, went on to have great coaching careers or actively coaching right now, either in NCAA D1, just like what Henry Burris was just doing. Ken Austin, there's a bunch of CFL former players that became CFL coaches that used then went on to go coach in the National Football League. What's that one? Remember that coach that went from the CFL to go coach the Chicago Bears?
Oh, oh,
Do you
oh.
remember his name?
He was on the Argos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember his name, man? Because like he was like he was a stud in the CFL, and then he went for the Chicago Bears, and the Chicago Bears happened to him.
Mark Trestman.
Mark Trestman. What is he doing now? Can you check his Wikipedia page?
For
This is gonna be the longest episode of Data Federico Show history, but I
works for
think
the
it's worth.
Chargers.
He's what?
He works for the Chargers. He's a senior offensive assistant.
Dude, that's how old is he?
He's 69.
Damn, that's kind of a job that like 80-year-olds get. But that's good for him. Still in the National Football League. Just look at that. Just look at that for a second. How many years did he coach in the CFL for? 5 years?
He coached 4 years with the Alouettes. So 5 seasons with the Alouettes and 3 seasons with the Argos.
Look at that.
And
And
he
then he
got
went
a
on to become the coach to the Chicago Bears.
yep.
And what did he do after Chicago?
Went the offensive coordinator to the Ravens,
Yep.
then became the Argos head coach,
Yeah.
then went to the Tampa Bay Vipers in the
Oh,
XFL,
yeah, the XFL.
and then now he's with the Chargers senior offensive assistant.
See, and people discredit the CFL for that. Like
Yep.
they discredit the CFL for what it's kind of like. If you have to come back and play pro ball, would you rather play? Because you can't really trust the XFL or the UFL, whatever the title is now, because spring ball just never really has a fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spring, so like you can't really trust the league to have like a career like that. Like yeah, you have spring football league legend like Perez, still kicking it. Um, in those leagues. I think he's gonna come to the CFL soon. But you can't trust those leagues. You know what league you can trust to make a legacy for yourself? The CFL, man. If you
Yeah.
can't make it in the NFL, do you rather go play in the European League of Football or do you want to come play in the CFL? If you had those two options. I'm Canadian. I'm biased to CFL. I've seen the CFL firsthand. The CFL any day of the week.
Yeah. 100%.
That goes,
And
and people like to describe. Oh, sorry. People like to dispute this on me. Like dispute this. They think it goes NFL, UFL, CFL. They got it all messed up. It goes NFL, CFL, and then those other leagues around the world don't even matter. Don't compete.
you're right, man. And I'll say it to the day I die, man, because this is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We breathe, live, and we die by the CFL,
Yeah.
right? And we love this stuff. Well, you do it because you love talking about sports, right? And that's
Yeah.
like you talk about all sports. But for me, being on the CFL episodes and all that kind of stuff is because I know the CFL so well, and I love the CFL. So I will. And now this is where people can hate me. I go CFL, NFL, and then it's not pro football, but then I'll put the NCAA in there.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I can agree with you on that. Like when I was a kid, when I was growing up, man, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan still. Dallas Cowboys fan still. Dude, I think growing up, I was bro, I just loved the CFL a lot more. I just thought, even when I was a little kid, people could call me stupid for this. I loved how all three aspects of the game mattered. I loved that how special teams was just it was such a massive aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And I would literally tell my parents and my friends in elementary school to be like, hey, I'd pick the CFL over the NFL. But if you're gonna talk realisticness, talent wise, goes NFL, CFL, and then UFL doesn't even UFL, XFL, whatever the league, spring football doesn't even touch that.
Yeah. And if
And
you go
and
like,
that's why I think Taylor Eglersma, if he wants to stay 4 downs, the only logical thing would to go play there, but you're gonna be a backup. You're gonna be a backup here in the CFL until Zach Collaros leaves. Are you waiting for Zach Collaros to retire? Like the Winnipeg Blue Bombers want you to come play for them. You could probably start literally next year if Zach Collaros gets banged up again.
yep, 100%. And I agree that. And like we've been talking about it for a long time now. This is a longer episode, but
Yeah,
we know, as we know as fans, like the opportunities come and go, but the opportunity to play in the CFL and to be a starting Canadian quarterback is hard to come by.
yeah,
Take that opportunity and roll with it and make the money and do what Bo Levi did. Try get so good in your career that you can then contemplate wanting to go to the NFL or just stay CFL and keep making money and not worry
Yeah,
about the NFL.
yeah. Like, let's see if this camera turns on. Ah, bang, we're back in business. Look at that. Look at that difference. But yeah, man, no, I totally agree with you. Like, be a starting. Like, look, Trey Ford has it just on the fingertips, just on his fingertips, and it's slipping away from him.
Yep.
But no, there's no. That might have came out actually terrible. But there's no disrespect on that. It's just
No,
slipping away. Like being a Canadian
did it.
is just hard in general for the game of football. There's
Yep.
coaches that probably don't even like you because you're Canadian. In the CFL team,
Yep.
there's probably that. Like, I mean, just with the amount of American coaches there. I don't know. We gotta end this episode. We've been talking for almost 2 hours. Overall,
We
Taylor
could go all
Algersma,
day.
yeah. Overall, my thoughts, Taylor Algersma should come to the CFL. You agree with me. Um,
Yep.
we've talked about so many topics today. This is gonna be a longer episode to edit too. It's gonna come out sometime this week for sure. By the meantime, when this episode comes out, there's probably going to be more guys that sign in the NFL. There's probably going to be more guys getting released, and there's going to be probably a lot more signings. But you know what the greatest thing about it? Anson Gross will be on anytime he can to talk about the Canadian Football League. Because look at this. We just had 2 hours talking about literally everything that has gone on in the offseason. Offseason has only been going on for what, 2 months?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's awesome. But we got to end this. This has been the Daniel Federico Show with Anson Gross. And Anson, it's always a pleasure to have you on, my brother.
Thank you very much, man. Can't wait to talk about the more off-season changes.
It's coming soon. This has been the Daniel Federico Show. I'll see you guys later sometime. Ciao.